Well, let's go to Gaza, where Israel are considering an invasion of Rafah, which is pretty important because that's where the Hamas leadership are. So to defeat Hamas, you've got to go into Rafah. That's where the hostages are being held, and that's where 4 military battalions of Hamas are stationed. So I don't know that if Israel want to defeat this terrorist organisation, they have much choice. But get this, the President of the United States, Joe Biden, is telling Israel if they invade Rafah, the US will withhold weapons and ammunition from their allies. So you've literally got a situation where the US president is acting to save a terrorist organisation no less than murdered and raped US citizens and continues to hold at least 5 US citizens as hostages right now. Caleb, this strikes me as a really dangerous move for so many reasons. Number one, it rewards Hamas for holding people as human shields. Number two, it endangers Israel because Israel, if Joe Biden hadn't noticed, are currently at war on numerous fronts. And America are now telling all of Israel's enemies we may not continue to arm Israel, which would fill you with confidence if you're Hezbollah, for instance, or the Houthi rebels. And then third, doesn't this decision spook every US ally? I mean, here we are down under thinking, you know what, if China attack, the US will come to our rescue. But Joe Biden has just informed all of his allies domestic politics trumps our commitment to allies. So you'd be thinking twice before you rely on America, wouldn't you?
Well, it may well be the first war in the Middle East that the US has not seen fit to go and get involved with. It is utterly incredible that you would leave a clear ally, the only democracy in the Middle East, hanging like that. I mean, let's talk about the circumstances in which this invasion has been raised. Mere hours after Israel flagged it, Hamas comes out and says, we'll agree to a ceasefire, we'll agree to a ceasefire. We don't know the terms of that ceasefire. Israel says that the terms they agreed to was nothing like what Israel had asked for, so it was essentially a sham. And in any case, last time you had a ceasefire, it didn't last very long. Hamas broke it very swiftly. If you want to defeat terrorists, lives are lost. It's as simple as that, right? And it's all good and well to say, we want to minimise the number of lives lost, and sure, I think we all agree with that. But we know that Hamas uses Palestinians as human shields. So does that then mean that we say, OK, well, we just let the terrorists do what they want to do and continue to rule Gaza? And at some point, they will come back and repeat the horrors of October 7th, which they have promised they will do, because we're worried about the people who are holed up in Rafah. Rafah, by the way, being the place where they have herded everyone to. So it is the last remaining place, and they hide behind the people. You can't possibly do it. It is outrageous for Joe Biden to say, no, if you go in there, we're going to stop arming you with weapons, because the only alternative is to let the terrorists win. If Joe Biden is on the side of the terrorists, just come out and say it, buddy. Senator Lindsey Graham, I think, put it really well today in his questioning of the Defence Secretary.
Would you have supported dropping the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, General Brown, to end World War II?
I'll tell you to stop the World War.
Do you believe Iran really wants to kill all the Jews if they could? The Iranian regime, yeah. Do you believe Hamas is serious when they say we'll keep doing it over and over again? Do you agree that they will if they can?
I do, Hamas.
Okay, right. Do you believe that Hezbollah is a terrorist organization also bent on the destruction of the Jewish state?
Hezbollah is a terrorist organization.
Okay, so Israel's been hit in the last few weeks by Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas, dedicated to their destruction. And you're telling me you're going to tell them how to fight the war?
Game, set, match. And of course, this is the same Joe Biden who has given tens of billions of dollars to Iran, which mobs like Hamas and Hezbollah then use to fight against
$100 billion
Israel.
Throughout the course of his administration. The Obama administration also gave Iran $100 million. Why billion? I'm just multiplying it.
Lot of dollars.
That is now an official figure. You heard it here first. But let's take a moment to remind ourselves Trump was impeached for withholding military aid to Ukraine. So how can Biden get away with this?
Republicans in Congress are going to be livid about this issue
because
right
they
here.
think they have a good issue.
Well,
Scott,
no.
I get it. I think they think that he's the president of the United States. They're just politicians trying to take advantage of a situation.
Well, no, I think they support our ally, and maybe he doesn't. They're going to recall a time when we impeached the president of the United States for withholding military aid authorized by Congress from Ukraine. $400 million. That was the basis of the impeachment. This is congressionally authorized military aid to our ally, and he is withholding it for political reasons.
Oh, they don't like those facts. They don't like those facts. But who's going to impeach Biden for leaving our ally hanging like this? Well, they're fighting a war on 3 different fronts.